Hey Dwayne, welcome to the MasterCard Cup. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through. We'll put you back in your dress position, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your setup, posture looks good. We can see that spine is straight on a nice tilt. Legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. Arms hang down nice and naturally in front of you. Club works out to the ball. So achieving good posture here in association with good balance. From this vantage point, also want to take a look and observe your alignment. We can see that your feet are closed. Carry that out towards the intended direction. And what we can see here is that theoretically your club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet. Parallel lines on camera would have an appearance to converge. And even with that scenario, we can see that we're set up to hit the ball out over these trees here when the center of the fairway is back over here. So we're obviously going to see some form of a compensation that's going to help you try and get that ball back to the yellow flag, and we'll observe that here in just a few minutes. Let's go ahead and clear this off the screen. Let's get Jordan Spieth up on the left side. As Jordan initiates his takeaway, he creates good shoulder rotation, bringing his arms and hands back as well as his golf club. We also want to bring the golf club back directly along the red line on plane. As well, creating some good wrist hinge into play, which means we're going to transition the club head currently from being below and in front of our hands to moving that club above and behind our hands. Really important part of the swing motion. From here, we're going to work the golf club from red up towards the blue-yellow V zone. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, we either want to have the left arm in the club situated on the yellow line, anywhere in between the blue-yellow V zone, or physically up on blue, as we can see with Jordan Spieth. We also want to create full shoulder rotation. We want to do this about a stable right leg, as well maintain the posture axis that we created at address. Let's watch you initiate your takeaway here. We can see as you draw the golf club back, hands and arms ironically go a little bit outside, considering your setup closed. Most people who set up in a closed position will likely usually take this golf club underneath and inside a plane. You're doing the opposite here, keeping the hands and the golf club a little out to the right and outside of a swing plane, sort of almost like you're taking the club straight back and picking it up. From here, as we continue to move, get good wrist hinge into play. Club head starting to work obviously above, not behind enough, but that's because you didn't swing your hands, arms, and golf club around you. So hopefully in the next frame this falls back in behind you a little bit more, which it does, so that's great. As we continue to move you back to the top of your backswing here, we can see that that initial outside move has a tendency to get you into a little bit too much of an upright position, whereby your left arm is above the blue line, and we'd like to, at a maximum, see it on the blue line, if not anywhere, again, in between the blue-yellow V zone or physically down on yellow, and shallow that out, because that'll help you come into the ball from better on plane. But I understand why you're taking the golf club outside and steep. That's because it's going to help you pull the ball back to the left. So now as we start our downswing, you're going to come into the golf ball steep. Your hands will travel down blue. Actually, surprisingly, you do a really good job dropping your hands back to the inside. I expect you to come over the top a little bit more, but still anticipate that you will to pull the ball right there. Yeah, now your hands move a little bit more out in front, and that's causing the club to come in steep to the ball. So we'll mark your club head here. We'll, at this point in time, just go ahead and pay attention to Jordan Spieth. So with Jordan, we're going to watch him move his weight from his right foot to his left. He's going to fire his knees and his hips laterally to the target. He's going to unwind the core, fire the hands, and in doing so, we want to make sure we're bringing the club from the blue-yellow V zone back down onto red, which is what we're not seeing with you. At this point in time, we can go ahead and just take notice of Jordan's club head, how it has returned back onto plane. Other thing we want to observe is the relationship between the lead forearm and the golf club. I refer to this as the backward check mark. This simply means that the club head is remaining above and behind the hands coming into the hitting zone. And this is what's going to give us a lot of power in a golf swing, aside from the fact that he's going to hit the ball straight due to the fact that the club has returned back to plane, which is a main criteria in producing straight golf shots. So with you, as we continue to track your club head coming in the ball, we're going to watch the club fall further out in front, sort of maybe down blue or a little bit out in front. So there it goes right there. Let me just one frame. There we are. And then out in front of the ball here. So at this point in time, we can go ahead and connect the dots, get a very good visual as to exactly what that descending plane looked like. So because you've come over the top, due to the fact of setting your arms steep, and also due to the fact that you need to pull the ball back to the center of the fairway, you're coming over the top, coming in steep, and ultimately you're going to be attacking the ball from outside to inside. With Jordan Spieth, we see his club again having returned back to playing here, and then it simply tracks into the golf ball directly from this red line. And as previously stated, this is what produces straight golf shots in accordance to our alignment. Lastly, assuming obviously that the club face squares up via having a good grip. So seeing that the downswing planes are vastly different here, we can go ahead and now take a look at the pass of the club. We can see with Jordan Spieth that his club is inside the ball. Before he makes contact, it expands out and then moves through in a nice natural subtle arc. Your club head was approaching the ball from outside, just getting ready to make contact. Watch where it goes on the way through. So it moves straight across. So very simply put, this is your compensation again. So if you square the club face up somewhat to that path, obviously that will help you pull the golf ball back to the center of the fairway. Originally we had already stated that again your alignment was out to the right. So obviously you have to make a compensation from swinging the golf club outside to inside to try and pull that ball back online. Now if we over release the club, what's going to happen here is you're going to not only pull the ball, but you'll hit some form of a pull draw or pull hook, and the ball's going to go too far left on you. If you leave the club face too open relative to the path, you're going to hit some form of a pull slice. And if you time it properly, you'll hit what I refer to as a pull straight shot that will go right down red and stay there, or have just a subtle pull draw or pull fade resembling the blue and yellow arrows, but just not to the severity. Okay. Also at impact here, we can take a look at your right heel somewhat off the ground. I want to just check out your footwork through to your finish and see if you complete your footwork and get yourself to a finish, which you do. So that's superb. So we don't need Jordan Spieth anymore on the left side of the screen here. Overall, you've got some really great athleticism to your golf swing. Your hands work really well. They come back, they fire through. Your core works well. You coil, you uncoil. You've got great footwork allowing you to get through to a good finish. So your overall general swing motion looks superb. But again, like I said, if we want to be consistent, there's three things we need. We have to aim well. We have to run parallel left of our target, feet, knees, hips, shoulders, and arms. We have to bring the club down on plane, and then we have to square the club face up. In your case, we can see that you're aiming out to the right again. You bring the club back steep. You then come over the top, attack the ball from steep and outside to inside, trying to pull that ball back to the left. And at that point in time, you're trying to compensate with the club face to try and figure everything out. If we go ahead and come back here, let's just actually observe what your club face did through the hitting zone. So here you are, coming at the ball from outside, swinging across, and your club face also squared up to the path. So as I mentioned previously, that ball is going to go to the left. It's going to go in the direction of where you're swinging. It's going to probably stay in that direction, and if you created any right to left spin, it's even going further left on you. Okay? So your golf swing's a lot better than the end result. You just have to figure out, first of all, how to build a golf swing upon proper alignment. Then immediately swing your hands, arms, and golf club more inside and around you, and shallow out the top of your backswing. As soon as you bring your hands and arms inside and around, shallow out your top of your backswing, you'll automatically come into the ball closer to plane. Now how much, whether it's 10% or 50 or 90, we're not sure until we do it, but I know for sure there's a domino effect and you will improve your downswing. So at that point in time, if your aim is better, you're coming less over the top, there'll be less pulls and less slices. Depending on what you do with that club face. And at that point in time, you can now worry about your hands and your grip and what you're doing through impact. But you need those three things in order to be consistent. And once you achieve those three things, good aim, good downswing, plane, good grip, good club face position through impact, now that'll all line up with your really good athleticism, and you'll become a really good ball striker. Okay? I know for certain when you hit good golf shots here that you either probably hit a pull straight shot. In this particular swing, you've just over squared the face, so the shot's not going to turn out. So if you leave that face just a little bit more open, then you'll hit your pull straight shots, you'll hit your subtle pull fades and your subtle pull draws, and those will turn out. But obviously with this kind of golf swing, there are a lot of variances on your left to right tendencies. Okay? Anyways, if at any point in time you want to fine-tune any of these aspects of your golf game, I'm over at Glen Abbey in Oakville. Be happy to structure a program for you. Also, if you're involved in any golf tournaments at all, you guys are looking for a unique gift to provide your guests, feel free to reach out. Be happy to discuss my swing analysis services. Anyways, again, hope you had a fabulous day, and hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video. Take care.